Should I just put it out in the chat?
I think so.
Yeah. Hello, everyone.
Something went
Hi.
wrong.
Welcome to everyone. And it's over to Sheba. Where's Sheba?
I think she has
There
some
seems to be a
connection
connection
problem.
trouble.
Yeah.
I could take it up
Sorry,
for the
sorry.
Please,
moment.
Dhira, go ahead.
No. I've joined it. I've come in. That's okay. Sorry. This was some. Good evening, Sonia. I continue.
Good
Please.
evening. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Sonia.
Good evening, Alka ma'am. How are you feeling
evening.
now?
I'm feeling better, Sonia, much better.
Great.
Thank you.
The technical glitch had to happen. Sorry for that. And now I'm on the safer side with the hotspot. So I carry on. We blend with the trends to bring out a revolution of positivity, creativity, and transformation. Our vision, reaching out to the families, educators, mentors, senior citizens, trainers, adults, youngsters, and to ensure the process of change can begin from the grassroots level with immediate environment one is in. Our objective, giving a platform to a talent in the creative, performing, and visual arts. Mental Chilparco International Helpline is there. Express de-stress to help members and their families during disturbing times. We provide support. Enhancing parenting, educational training, nurturing. It is by the Chilparco International. Virtual visits to check on nurturing techniques and their efficiency over the core committees. So we have lots of core committees for this, and we provide information to adults to make them aware and more capable and competent in dealing with day-to-day challenges of life and the young mind. We have the Young Minds virtual visit to check in on the nurturing techniques and the efficiency with board committees. So we have lots and lots of shows that are like we have the artificial intelligence and robotics, mindfulness, heart. We have the launch the rhythm express to de-stress, club rejuvenate. We have the book wizards club. We have the PSP fusion, that is the empowered women. We have the talent rendezvous, new age parenting forum, Energia International youth wing of CI, who's got, we have the group, we got popcorn discussing books. And we are 100 plus countries and almost 600 plus members. Our Chilparco community is growing, and we are grateful to everyone, the team members, for this Chilparco International magazine, which is a highlight of everything, and which is always we have the monthly issue every year, where when we put our articles, we are always giving our articles basically on parenting and so many other things.
A round of applause is for a round of applause, everybody, for Chilparco.
Mother's Day special. Thank you,
That's
ma'am.
so sweet.
Mother's Day special. It is dedicated to our superheroes. We have the attitude to gratitude, freedom and friendship towards a sustainable life learning from life and me. Tenacity, Mommy's Day special, tenacity tips on parenting, and we have so on and so on. I would like to apprise you also about the programs. We have a success camp, that is Chilparco Mentoring Program, etiquetted personal grooming in the 21st century. We have the Book Wizard Club. It is for the voracious readers, and we are all into it. We are really working on that, and we are enjoying it. We are enjoying the book reviews. We are enjoying to discuss the book, and it's again a learning session for all of us. We look forward to that. And then we have our core teams. We have the team tenacity, Chilparco parenting goals. We have the dream team. We have so many international teams, and all teams comprise of so many high profile global professionals from all walks of life and within these programs. And we have some major events also, that is that those shows which are conducted by our CEO of Chilparco, that is Dr. Alka Mahajan. That is the Wit and the Grit show live with Ma'am Alka. Let's chat over coffee with Alka. Let's chat over lemonade with Alka. The Kryptonine show, that is one show which I think we all look forward for. It's about the success dynamics of the educators. And another major events are the Wireless Connect, Communication, Mental Health, Life Skills, and above all, happiness and smiles. This is
Great.
our aim. We connect the world through humanitarianism, and we are all to learn and share with one another, strengthen our bonds, enhance one's uniqueness through appreciation. That is all for us. And the backbone and the spinal cord, and those who have given us this platform for expanding, learning, and collaborating are the chairman of Chilparco, that is Dr. Naresh Mahajan. A round of applause for him, and the CEO of Chilparco, Dr. Alka Mahajan, for this wonderful initiative and the way we look forward and the way we plan out things. And it is really heartening. And what wonderful and amazing experiences we gain from each other. So we are also, I like to, last, I'll just like to highlight the members of Tenacity Core Chilparco team. We have Ambassador Dhira, Ambassador Vaughan, Ambassador Marine, Ambassador Georgia, Professor Fukot, Ambassador Noor Ahmed, Madhu Ma'am, Ambassador Vyoma, Ambassador Shiva, and high profile professional also. And I think I have given you a brief about what we are and what we are doing. And it is, its inception was in 2020. Ma'am, am I right? 2020?
Absolutely, absolutely. And over here, Shiba, if I have your permission, we have Sonia with us, and henceforth, Sonia is member of our tenacious team. She's one of the core members. She is going to be the director of Chilparco International from Gujarat, and
Wonderful.
is also our Express to De-Stress Council president. And of course, she's part of our Tenacity team. Every month, whenever we have our Tenacity issue out, she will look after the Express to De-Stress articles. So this is Ambassador Sonia Achantani from Gujarat, Kutch in Gujarat. So
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome.
to her, and congratulations. And we will also formally, put it up for you, Sonia. I can see that you're traveling.
Thank you
But
so
yes.
much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes,
So,
that's lovely. It's lovely to have you in our team.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. A warm
It's
welcome to
lovely to be
everyone
connected
present
with
here.
you.
Hearty welcome to each one of you. Really feeling so, looking forward, and there's a lot of excitement and happiness. We are privileged and honored. You've left your workplaces and you've joined in for us and to share your experiences. We are indeed privileged and honored to have amongst us. I will just give a very brief introduction of our guests and members. I'll start with Miss Sharon Aishatuli. She's working as a working in a research expert consultations. A warm, very, very warm welcome to you, and we look forward to hear from you. Ms. Poonam Narula,
Thank you.
an educationalist, a mentor, guide, philosopher, and above all, an amazing grandmother. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Then we heartily welcome our dynamic couple who have completed a decade of parenting this year. Tanushri and Vaibhav Arora, parents of 10-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son. Both Vaibhav is presently leading, he's a marketing lead in an IT company, and Tanu is working with one of the largest banks in Canada. Dear Tanu and Vaibhav, we are excited to listen to you, and we know there are so many pros and cons of bringing up children with at least 3 to 4 years of difference. I know there will be so much from your side to share with us. We are looking forward. Now, here I now hand over to the moderator of the evening, Ambassador Dhira, you can carry forward, please. Ma'am, please take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Sheba. Good evening, everyone. It's an
Good evening.
honor and a privilege to be here with all of you. What a beautiful galaxy of parents, good human beings, good souls, and the originators of the future generation. That's how I look at parenting. Before we start the discussion, let me tell you from my own little experience that parenting takes everything out of you. I mean, there is no such thing as a casual parenting, whether you are a casual parent or a very serious parent, but it takes a lot to be a parent. So first, I salute the parents, the grandparents. Say parents, I'm using it as a generic term. It means grandparents, caregivers. It doesn't only confine to parents. And it is so important to have grandparents in the lives of children, which the present generation is losing on because they're so engrossed in their gadgets, so engrossed in the pace of life, so engrossed in their jobs. I think the basic thing that's not happening in families is communication. And believe me, all relationships come to an end when communication is impaired. So what I'm trying to say is that we must spend time with our children and teach them to spend time with us. And the way we look after our parents, that is their grandparents, somehow gives them the message how they should look after us, how they should interact with us. One last thing I'd like to suggest, which I read, little children are like puppies. See, you may not like the analogy, but it really made sense on the hindsight. Little children, that's preteens, are like little puppies. They follow you everywhere, they listen to you, they're obedient, they are in awe of you. And that is what, where we are mistaken. We think this is for life. Oh, my poor little darling is in awe of me. When they become a teenager, they become kittens. They are detached. And we still expect that puppy syndrome. Oh, beta, you didn't do this. Oh, you were so close to me. But that's a very natural thing. And if we understand the puppies grow into kittens, life will be simpler. Thank you for this opportunity, Dr. Alka. You yourself are an amazing parent and an amazing person. Over to you, Dr. Alka, for a brief experience of yours as a parent. What would be your keystone keynote sentence?
Well, just to say thank you so much, first of all. Both of you, Ambassador Dhira and Ambassador Sheba, thank you so much. And to all of you, a big, big welcome. Greetings of peace, love, and happiness. And from wherever you are, you're from, some of you have joined in from Canada, some from different parts of India. Thank you so much for joining today's session on parenting. I see our Ambassador Noor from Bangladesh has also joined us. That's amazing. Thank you for joining us. Well, I've always felt one thing, that children may exhaust you, but life would indeed be dull without their priceless bits of information, their priceless bits of histrionics, their priceless bits of drama. I mean, if it weren't for those little acts of theirs, we would really, lose out on so much fun. And I think that as a parent, it's not only me teaching them. I've always firmly believed in one thing, that the child is the father of man. They also teach us so much, because I for one, understand that when my son was very tiny, he was so much into gadgets. And at that point of time, way back in the 90s, okay, the computer and all was there, but it was only with a selected few. I don't know how he got into this habit. And he was just in grade 2. And he got into this habit and suddenly he said, I wanted a computer. And I said, what is this thing? And why do you keep on doing this? But now to think now that he's a cybersecurity specialist in London, I'm proud of the fact that I let him be what he wanted to do. The only biggest parenting tip that I have for parents, which comes from my experiences, just let them be what they want to do. Let them just do what they want to do. I am in education. My husband is a doctor. My daughter is in judiciary. She's a metropolitan magistrate with Delhi judiciary. And my son is a cybersecurity specialist. So if you see, all four of us belong to different fields. We have never imposed on our children that, yes, you have to become a doctor because your dad is a doctor. We have the clinic, we have the setup. You have to join your dad's profession. We never did that. But the funny part is that my daughter did take up science. At one point of time, we thought that she's going to be a doctor like her dad. And when she got into Lady Harding College in Delhi, she told us that, I don't want to do medicine. I said, why? The father was okay. To think that the father was okay, but I said, why? People die to get into that college and you say that you don't want to? She says, no, I want to do biotechnology. Fine. So she's joined biotechnology. In her third year of biotechnology, she gives us this big news, breaking news. Was, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to further do this. I said, then what? 1 minute. 3 years you've spent doing this. Now you tell me you don't want to do. No, I want to do law. So I am going to get into campus law center. She comes, she sits for the entrance exam, she gets it. And then after those 2-3 years, she sits for her exam for the judiciary, for the government judiciary, and she clears it. She becomes a judge. And I'm like, thank God I let her just chase her dreams. So my biggest thing is, let them do what they're passionate about. Don't force your own dreams, your dreams, unfulfilled dreams on your children. I really wanted to do, let's say, for example, I wanted to do journalism at one point of time. I couldn't do it for whatever reasons. There was a point I wanted to, actually impose it on my son. But then, because he was very good with writing, technical writing, of course, but very good. And I thought he could do it, but I didn't really impose it. So this is one big thing that I've always felt, that let children grow normally. Do not censor so many things. I mean, monitoring is good. Leading by example is good, but don't censor each and everything. And, there are going to be things about life that they're going to be learning. So if they learn it from their parents, it's going to be much better. My child, when he was only in grade 1, he asked us, what is AIDS? And, in those days, parents would do it a hush hush. Oh my God, how to explain this? What is sex? Oh my God, how to explain this? We just explained it normally. My own friend used to tell me that, oh, my daughter is reading so-and-so novel and it has so many scenes, and she was seeing this movie and there's so many scenes. I just switched off the TV. Well, I never did that. I just let them understand. Of course, they would ask questions, they would answer. So rather than blushing, rather than, giving them that opportunity to seek their answers outside, I think it's our responsibility as parents to tell what it is, so that, they learn these life lessons in a positive manner. That's my thing. I mean, there's so many other things, but this is a little bit about my parenting. And of course, I'm not perfect. I was never a perfect parent. I used to also shout and scream at them. And there were many times when I also, let my hair down or whatever you call it. But then at the end of the day, they also learned one more thing, that it's okay to be imperfect. So from me, they learned it. So they knew that if mama is shouting or screaming, maybe she's upset, maybe something. So, kids learn like this.
Dr. Alka.
Doctor, Professor, welcome, Professor. He
Thank
is
you. Dr. Alka, can I interrupt you 1 minute?
Oh, yes, sure.
Before I forget, because I look at my face, I look a little bit stressful. Because you know why? Because my Telegram account has been hacked. And for the last 2 days, I've been busy responding to friends from Zurich, from London, asking me, did you send me a message on Telegram? I have not used it for a while. You mentioned your son is what they call cybersecurity expert. Can you help me out on that?
I'll ask him.
Can you ask him this? How do I? Because you see, I've uninstalled Telegram, but the bugger, excuse me for my language, the fellow is still impersonating me. Even a few minutes ago, I got WhatsApp coming in.
Okay, after the session, I will let's try to do some
but for my own self comfort, and I was telling my friends, Aisha is smiling. I was telling my friends, I said, what do you call, Robin Sharma said, you know, you what do you call, you have only arrived, you know, you have only reached a certain level when people begin to impersonate you, imitate you, or plagiarize your work, or you look at like the US currency, right?
Means
And
you've arrived.
people start forging
Wow,
them.
you're rocking, Professor. He's
Ah.
our Chilparco International Ambassador from Malaysia. Precious team member. He is the president of our Book Wizards Club. He's Professor Khairuddin Sudarman from Malaysia.
Hi guys. So Dira,
These
you
are
want
all our lovely parents. You're just
Hi.
going to be listening to them. So you can keep on sharing your inputs as well, and we will look after your
Okay, just before
the
while
section.
we are on the thinking of parenting, give me just 1 minute to share. You know what I do with my children. I tell them, look, I don't want you to be like me. Okay, you just be what you want.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, you just do what you want to do. So when you know what, I've got my second daughter. I remember I was still in corporate. I was an MD. I was CEO of one of the public listed companies. And one day she called me. I came back from work. She came to my room, said, Pa. I said, what do you call? I got into college. I said, oh, great, wonderful. Then tomorrow she came again. Pa, I got into college. I said, yeah, that's wonderful. Then he said, Pa, you promised. I said, huh? What did I promise? You said if I get into college, what do you call, you'll buy me a car. Because I bought the previous the eldest daughter the same thing. So I said, oh, okay. And then she came back to me, said, can I choose my car? I said, huh? You want to choose your car? I said, then she said, what do you call? Can I have a Honda Swift? I said, what? I know. They are graduates from the Islamic University, law graduates who just graduated and have been working for 2 years. She's still struggling, to keep money to buy that car. And you are going into college and you want me to buy you a Honda Swift? You must be joking, I said. I was just thinking of a second-hand Kancil, our local Malaysian car. I said, what do you call? I said, then I said, oh, maybe, then I went back to my office and I told my guy, and I said, boss, oh, come on, you can just give him a brand new, at that time, the fashionable car was Myvi. So I came back and told my daughter, okay, you can have a Myvi. And I said, huh? What? Myvi? Apa barang? The girls, they were giving that kind of remark. And then I said, okay, let me think about it. She said, oh, you want to think about it? I said, okay, yeah. So the next day she came back to me and said, okay, I already thought about it, but I'll take the Myvi, but on 3 conditions. So I said, what's the condition? Number 1, it has to be white. Number 2 is manual, not automatic. And number 3, the higher spec. Huh? Higher spec? Hey, hello, that's an extra $5,000, okay? With the sports team and all the things. I said, okay. And then I said, oh, why? Normally people drive automatic and you want not auto. Then I was thinking, yeah, I know why. You and your gang, with the white, all the white gang, and then at the traffic light, vroom, 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 vroom. Am I right? Just to share with the guys, that was my experience parenting, with my
Wonderful.
with my second girl. But if you see on Facebook, if you see me with a boy, a very fair, puffy boy, that's her son. That's my youngest grandson, beautiful child that they've given the family. Okay, that's it. Sorry, Dira, you wanted to say something? Back to you.
No. Thank you,
Okay,
Professor.
thank
I
you
put
so
a
much,
suggestion
Professor.
in the chat box for your telegram. I'm no expert, but just go
Okay.
through it. Over
All right.
to you, Ambassador Shiva.
Thank you, Dira.
I think now we start with the session with our people from Canada. We can take on with Tanu and Weber, because we've given them some slot for 30 minutes each. And may I request Ma'am Dhira to please start with the session. And our first ones to speak are Tanu and Weber, please.
Yeah. So we invite you, Mr. Weber. Would you kindly share your experience, all aspects which you can think of, the greatest, happiest moments, the challenging moments.
We prepared the script other way around. I thought she would start first. Now you put it
Go ahead.
As
We
you
believe in
just-
gender equality.
Just as you wish. The floor is yours. Absolutely yours. Over to
Oh,
you.
gosh.
He's the mom in the house otherwise. So I would really appreciate if he starts talking.
It's
Okay,
sorry,
that,
you
that
know,
is the first thing. That is the first thing you're saying, mom of
Yeah.
the house.
Yeah, I
All
want to
right.
say sorry to everyone. I came in late and then I start budging in and start sharing,
No problem,
my own
Professor.
parenting.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's what we love about you, Professor.
Yes, Mr. Weber, please.
Please.
Yeah, I mean, as Shiba Chachi mentioned, it's been 10 years. Our daughter is 10-year-old and our son is 2.5. So they are 7.5 years apart.
Mm.
And I mean, when we look back now, we feel raising our daughter was such a breeze. It was so easy. You know, those 10 years were like like a smooth wave. But now raising our son for the past 2.5 years has been like a tsunami.
Oh,
So,
oh my God. How is that? How is that, Ara?
so it's so different, and there is no, I would say there is no secret recipe or formula of parenting. I just feel it's a two-way street, as you said. At times, parents raise kids, and there are times when kids are raising us. So,
Absolutely.
my thinking is that keep your ear close to the ground, listen to your kids, because all your parenting answers are in what they are saying. If you're listening to them, if you're trying to understand what they're saying,
Wonderful.
like my son is not speaking yet, he's just saying some words and he's trying to form sentences, but as a parent you need to find meaning in what they are trying to say, and if you're listening, you might be able to parent well. I mean, that is what I follow. So
Wonderful.
That's wonderful. Very nice. Very short and brief and crisp. Devo.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
ma'am, what about you? What's your take on this?
I think I totally agree to that. So parenting, according to both of us, we've always believed, like when we had Tavi, our elder one, we since the day we've had her, we've always believed in being friends more than just parents. So yes, we have that boundary of respect for each other. We make sure that, but at the same time, we try to, uh, be around, be with her, just like most of you parents, who we actually are learning from, have share your experiences. It's always very important to stay close to your kids, to stay attached. There are times when, when she comes back home and she's all upset about a friend, or she's all excited about an event where she excelled, or whatever's happening at school. And, I really I enjoy that. I have always done that as a child. And when the day the minute she enters the house, both of us are ready. Okay, so today it'll either be she'll be crying about something or she'll be happy about something, but we have to welcome her.
yeah, we keep our laptops aside. I mean, both work from home currently, and
Yeah, so
just like four, she comes back at 3:53 p.m. Her bus comes in front of the home. So we are just by the door. We wait for her. She comes inside. We greet her and we listen to her for half an hour. I mean, that is a daily ritual.
and I think that's important.
Wonderful.
That's something that's the only way we try to stay connected. And of course, as you all suggested, that we are learning from our kids every now and then. We learn so many things. There was a time when I used to tell, I have a lot of family here in the group, so they know. There was a time when I used to tell Mama, this is not how you pronounce this particular word, and now it's all coming back to me. She's telling me, Mom,
Great.
so I tell her, no, beta, we are from India. So, we have that Brit accent. Probably you have the North American accent. So,
Wonderful,
these
wonderful.
small little things that we enjoy every day. And talking about the happy moments, I think spending time with your kids, there are times when you actually feel like yelling and shouting at them, but at the same time you look at their face and you're like, what are they asking for? Just our time, just our time to engage with them, to maybe just sit down and watch a Christmas movie with our daughter, or just to go out on the swings to the park with our son. So these are little treasures and happiness of life.
And
that
Ambassador Dhira, you rightly said that spending time is important, because soon will come a time when they won't have time for us.
exactly.
And probably we need to adapt to that. And our elders over here might know much more better of that stage, or my parents, or the Bua and Chachi and everybody
I'll
knows.
just come in here. We need to adapt because see,
Yeah.
when you are looking, I mean, I'm talking from a child who's grown up and who's working. When you're looking at a lifestyle, you're looking maybe at a 6-figure or a 7-figure income or of whatever, more than a 5-figure income. And to get that, you have to really, really work extremely hard. So as a child, you can't be expected to be spending so much time with your parents. And as a parent, you're also slogging as a parent. You can't be spending that kind of time with your children. So for old kind of problems, we cannot have the old kind of solutions because the problems are new, the solutions have to be new.
Yeah.
Please continue, Mr. Weber.
Yeah, but I would say that advent of COVID helped a lot in this, and so many kinds of work streams switched to completely work from home models or hybrid models, and with that the kids are used to seeing parents more. Like she said, I'm the mom of the house, so it's because my son doesn't want to do anything with the sister and the mother. He just wants his dad to be around and ready him for daycare or feed him lunch or breakfast, whatever. But the biggest difference is because Tavi never saw me at home. I was in India at that time. I used to work 12 hours a day, come back at 8:39 at home. I used to spend 1.5 quality hour with her. But with my son, what happened was he saw me day and night since morning to evening. So now he's got attached to me and he doesn't want to leave. So because of COVID, I would say I have spent much more time with Tattva than I spent with Tavi.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
That's wonderful.
Ma'am, how do you handle the 7.5 years difference? Because my daughters also have a 7 years difference, but it's worked out very well. I mean, it's really worked out well. How do you manage this? Because you see what happens at times, you give too much attention to the baby because he's 2.5. He needs that attention, and the older sibling gets left out, feels left out.
So she has been our center of attraction since she was born, and
Till she was 7.5.
Yes. So now sometimes she does feel that, but I think giving her a lot of liberty in the house, in the decision making her feel important at every step, making her feel how she's responsible towards the little sibling also, and how she only wanted another sibling. She felt lonely and she wanted to spend time with someone. Now she's not really interested though, but just adding that layer of responsibility to her daily schedule, and to let her know that you are still equally important, but then we have additional member in the family now that you only have to take care of. It's not us. We were parents when we had you, but you wanted to be an elder sister, you wanted to take care of a younger sibling, and it's important that now you do it. I think sometimes she does come up with a complaint saying that because she is again very attached to her dad, and she's like, "Pehle to you used to spend all the time with me, and now you're sleeping." Because Tattva still co-sleeps sometimes, so she's like, "You sleep with him, you spend time with him," and we are like, "No, it's not like that."
So yesterday she made a comment. Sorry, yeah.
No, please carry on. Please carry on.
Yesterday only she made a comment. Can I have one thing that I don't have to share?
You don't have to share.
This is good one.
So yeah, that is a big challenge, of course. I mean, and we're trying to address it every day, trying to play it by the ear, doing it as we go. But yeah, that's one of the challenges of having a. I mean, probably the age difference is not the matter. When there are two siblings, that point will come, right? And as parents, you need to somehow make them understand that you love them both equally.
I have two suggestions here. One, I'll attribute it to Professor Khairudin. I'll come to that second. First is, ma'am, you said he's more attached to the father, right, than to the sister and the mother. You start doing things like opening machinery, oiling stuff, do guy kind of things which little boys love. At 2.5, he'll forget his father. He'll be, "Mom, let's oil that machinery." And when dad steps in, he says, "Dad, aapko nahi pata hai. Mama does a better job." Do stuff because we are a house full of women. My husband is the only gentleman around. So usually all our thinking was from, the stuff females would like, the stuff females would buy, the stuff. So at times it's very suffocating for the other gender to really, really get into that. I mean, it's boring. So maybe for the little one, we tend to beta khalo, beta ao khele, beta jigsaw puzzle. He does, and 2.5-year-olds are very, very independent. They think they've grown up. It's one of those Dr. Spock talks about. Do read Dr. Spock. He really gives these stages beautifully. And second, I thank Professor Karuddin to have introduced us to the second curve. It's a management book by Charles Handy. The point I'm trying to make here is when you reach your level of perfection or wow, start something new because that's bound to peter down. So when you're like, wow, kids are happy, there's bound to be a depression in that graph. So do something different. And that's an amazing concept. Thank you, Professor. Over to you, Ambassador Sheba.
Will anyone like to share something similar? Sharon or the grandmother sitting here with the
Yeah, sure. When I listen to Vaibhav and Tanu, I feel that parenting is tougher than grandparenting.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Grandparenting
wonderful.
is more simpler than parenting because basically you are
Wonderful.
going to raise the child, and to in a way you have to make the life of the child, and we have to pamper. They say when grandparents come, the discipline goes out of the window. Discipline goes out of the windows, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. But we try to provide the children with a very structural environment. We are actually having wisdom in us, experience in us, expertise in us. I being in teaching profession, I know how children used to come with problems and sit by the side of me. Today I have not eaten anything my mother did not make. Auntie, madam,
Yes,
my mother,
absolutely.
parents fight a lot. So we get a sort of expertise to handle the children, to keep them busy. I have a granddaughter who is 4 years old. So she is also she's a very I must say catchy girl. Like she catches anything but you cannot thrust anything on her. So from that small baby, we have tried to empower. I take her to a store and she chooses her frock. If she doesn't like the frock, she will not look at it. She chooses a sandal. So slowly, gradually, we start empowering the children with small skills. And slightly bigger they become, we empower them more. So now this new age parenting is you really cannot hover the children. You cannot be helicopters. You cannot Tavi is growing so nicely. And she is taking so many good activities and learning very beautiful things. She also dances. She also takes horse riding. So this way we should let the children go. And regarding the grandparents, one thing which I have learned that there is a medical wisdom. When we thought we raised our children, we used to there are certain practices which children are following. Like they will not give salt and sugar to the children for 1 year. Now any grandmother would stand up and say, "Hum to dete the," we would give. So we have got not to use those statements because these are all based on research. Children, once they become parents, they search, they research, and we have to value them, and we have to be more adjustable, and we have to listen to these things, and we have to follow. We used to put the child on the stomach, but we cannot do that because now medical wisdom does not allow that. So one thing I've said, and we have always been pampering her, but not pampering her if she has a screen time, if she has time for playing, if she has some dietary restriction, we have to follow. Even if mommy and daddy both are on night duty, we will put her to bed at the same time. It is not that Dadu and Dadi are there, so let her play, let her thodi der aur baithte hain, let us play this. We have to follow. Then only there will be no conflict in the house, and we will love. And I think love only triumphs. Am I right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I can't agree more.
Wonderful. Awesome.
Madam Narula, Narula.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Madam.
can't agree more because that's what happened to is my grandchildren too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we call all the discipline, not really, it's not out of the window, but my discipline. So what happened is when they come,
Small conflict also over something. No, we don't stand in front of each other and raise voices.
Yeah.
SMS. Sorry,
Yeah.
mom. I said like this. Sorry, mom. He will type to me. I said it's okay. Like this. So we do not create scenes in front of the children.
correct.
By God's grace, we are trying to give her the best time, and we are trying to raise her as beautifully as God
Correct.
has.
Wonderful.
My observation, I noticed, Ms. Munami, I think there's a general consensus, and I think all children all over the world, they're all behaving similarly in the sense that, when they come to the house, they didn't say, Grandma, Grandpa, we miss you, they hug you. No. When they come, the first thing they do is, Grandpa, so they come in, Topa, where's your iPad? Where's your Samsung, all the kind of thing, and then they will only come to you, crying. They didn't hug and say, we miss you, Grandpa. No, they'll come crying to you when they say, Grandpa, Wi-Fi is not around. Wi-Fi is off. No connection. And so what I do is, so what I do is I will take them to the supermarket. They say once because they come once in a while, so I give them a treat. Okay, you go and then go to the DIY shop. Okay, you go and take a look. Is there anything that you need in your school that your mom and your dad didn't buy you, which is a bit too expensive? No, never mind. Grandpa will buy you.
How
so they
sweet.
will go and they will take
How
it.
sweet.
And then apparently when they come to the house, they'll open my fridge, and they just love the things that I love. And I was wondering, hey, it's gone. Then I know. So before they come, I'll make sure I'll have it nicely stocked. They like all these yogurts, the fruit yogurt and everything. Then say so now I know what my grandchildren like. Okay, but the other thing that I noticed is that children today definitely are just different from the days that when we were young, when I grew up.
Very different.
And here, you see, what we're doing is we're trying to please them, everything. My worry is that we will be spoiling our Mr. Wabe, Aurora. I hope you're listening to this. My worry is, we are unawareingly preparing our little ones, your children and then my grandchildren. We are unawareingly preparing them to be slaves to future robot because they are so dependent on these gadgets, And then, I was talking to a few of the professors from UK in one session, when I said this, they will look at me and say, they said, they didn't think about it. It's true, we don't realize it. This is what we're doing unawareingly. So because remember, because we're so dependent on technology. Technology is supposed to help us. Now we're so dependent. Like if you go anywhere, you need waste, right? So if something wrong and you can get the waste, you are lost. So similarly with the children, everything is all the smartphone. So we need, as Poonam rightly said, we need to make sure, and even Dira rightly mentioned, we need to ensure that they are independent, they are resilient, and they are able to think. If a situation arises, they are able to handle it, not just dependent. I think this is some of the things. I remember when I was small, what you call our parents didn't really bother about. And the other thing, this one I must mention. Today, parents, when they go to the school, they didn't give their children to the teachers. They will tell, this is Malaysia, I don't know about in India or elsewhere, but here in Malaysia, the parents, especially the rich ones, the what they call the ones with
affluent ones.
Affluent one, they'll go to the school and then they'll meet the teacher, and straight away they said, teacher, I'd like to inform you that my son doesn't like to be put in to be in an enclosed situation. So he cannot do this, he cannot do that.
It's the same in India.
Yeah,
in India it's the same.
And then they go and tell the teacher. And then you know what? And then when I heard it, I said, oh, if I was a teacher, you know what I will tell the parents? Oh, I see. So your son or your daughter or your son doesn't like to be disciplined, right? Okay, now may I suggest that you take him or her back and then you teach them yourselves? Because what you call the school has got rules, there are discipline that needs to be followed. So if you want to have your own set of rules, I suggest you do your own. And may I also remind you, if I can share with you, if you send your children to the international school, the discipline that he or she will going to receive is worse than what I'm going to give.
Absolutely.
That's what I said.
Right.
But this is what's going on, okay? Which worries me. Those days when we were small, what is the key word we are missing today? Discipline. Mr. Wabre, I hope you after this you change your style. Have some, but friendly, lovable, but discipline. Let them learn the discipline. When I was in school, if I got caned, when I get home, I did not tell my parents. Because if I tell my father, my late father, that the teacher caned me in school, I'll get 3 times more at home.
Yeah. And now
Am I
you
right,
tell
Sarah?
them the parents will go and fight with the teachers.
Yeah, corporal
exactly.
punishment is not corporal
It's not,
punishment.
it's not allowed. It's
Yeah,
not
correct.
allowed.
I can understand. Globally, everything has changed. Even right now, you cannot. The teacher cannot touch the student. If you
can't.
wall up the student with the plastic.
You can't wall up there.
And
I'm
girl,
sure
the
Vaibhav
student go back.
and Tanu have this thing that in Canada, I think
Yeah.
there's a rule over there that
Yeah,
if
exactly. That,
marks, if
yeah,
the if the
if you do
teacher
that,
sees some marks on the parent on
you're in trouble.
body of the child,
Child.
they will call those special authorities and say that
Exactly.
me
Even
and
here,
report
the
it to
parents
social
need to be
services.
taken to task.
So even if your child is not in the car seat and there is even if he's in the car seat and there is no seat belt, and
You're
if
in
a
trouble.
police catches you,
Yeah.
they can report it to social services and they're saying they can tell you they are not raising them properly, you're putting
Yeah,
their
exactly.
safety to risk,
Same thing.
and
I
they're taking
remember,
away the child. I think
yeah,
3 strikes
yeah.
and they can take away the child.
Yeah, even in the 90s, I remember when I was in UK, you're not supposed to leave your child in the house. If the police come and catch you, you're not in the house, and you leave the child in the house, you will be punished.
Until 12. So we
Yes,
cannot
yes,
leave
yes.
even Kavi at home alone.
Yeah, you have to send it to
Absolutely.
someone to take care, right?
This is
So
a
the
rule
world has
every,
changed.
I think in US also. US also the same rule follow. They follow the same rule
Yeah.
in the US.
Yeah, Shiva, in US too, yeah? Yeah.
Yes.
We'd like to invite Aisha ma'am now. Aisha
Yeah.
ma'am, what's your
Sorry.
take
Sorry,
on...
just 1 second.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead, Aurora.
Tanu had to head out for her meeting at 10:30.
No problem.
I
Please,
also
I
have
just
a
sent a
meeting now.
message also,
Understandable.
even Vaibhav also, if you, because I know we have a long day ahead. We are
Yeah,
very,
we
very,
just started our
very-
work actually, so we have to
I
just
know.
join back.
We
Vaibhav,
just,
Mr.
very
Vaibhav,
good
thank you
afternoon.
so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
That
for
was
your
lovely.
inputs. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you
Really
joining
grateful
us.
It was
for
such a
joining
pleasure
us.
meeting you, and we love to be a part of the forum. It allows you to speak and listen.
Absolutely, you
Wonderful.
are there now.
Wonderful.
You are there. We will add you to the group so that you keep on getting those updates about when we have our next session. And even if you would like to join other sessions, please go ahead. We'll add you to the group. Today,
It's so nice to learn from you all, learn from your experiences.
Thank you.
Thank you.
but we
It's a
love
neutral
listening to both of
Thank
you.
you, sir.
You are amazing parents. Happy parenting. God bless you. And lots of love to both.
Just
Yes.
trying to learn from the elders in our family. 2 of them are here, so we're learning from them.
Thank you. Bye.
Vaibhav.
Have a good
Thank you.
day. Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Goodbye.
Professor.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Nice. You speak very nicely. It's a pleasure to listen to you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
he's
you.
our
Thank you.
witty and
Thank
witty
you.
Excellent
professor.
sense of humor. Wonderful sense
He's
of
amazing.
He's
Wonderful
our
Professor
witty
is
and
amazing.
witty professor. We miss him. If he doesn't join, then we keep on missing him. And when he's there, then he hogs everything. He hogs the life. But we love him for that. We love him for
The
that.
Now he's
most charming speaker of today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
For
thank
the
you, Vaibhav.
professor.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you, Vaibhav.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Good luck.
We'd
Yes,
like to
Aisha
hear-
ma'am.
Yes, we'd like to hear
Hi.
something from Sharon and your experiences, please.
Hi, Veera. Thank you. You can call me Sharon. Or Aisha, whatever it is.
Oh,
Sharon.
Sharon, okay.
I think I agree with most of you with what you've said on parenting. So that's being said. But being a single parent, I've had completely different experiences in parenting like you all have had. I think I've grown up with my daughter. The day she was born, she and I grew up together. And like everybody says, there's no book on parenting. You just go according to what your child is, according to what you've exposed to. And it was wonderful. I will say it was wonderful till she was 30. And after that, your problems from the good little child that was always saying yes, like an under aura, she turned out to be a little monster. But,
Oh, no.
but-
Oh, no.
oh, yeah. And she would hate that, but yeah, but that's teenagers for you. So now she's 18. But Professor, I agree with you totally. And I think most parents of today are missing the point of we are bringing up our children with lots of freedom, without the onus of responsibilities and duties given to them.
Too
And
much,
they're
too much.
too
freedom.
much. And I think we think the new parenting is the go-to parents, go-to parenting, but I don't agree with. We need to go back to the old form of bringing up our kids. It has to be a balance between the old and the new, and not to forget that.
Yes, yes.
And I think I've realized that my daughter's gone into universities. Today, universities are taking up the role what parents have faltered on, what schools have faltered on. Now they are bringing up such discipline to the kids that they can't hack it. But I totally are with universities, and parents can't interfere with the systems anymore. And I think the discipline is coming into play. And
Yeah, you said the magic word. I was going to say it. Yeah, the one word that is missing and people ignore. Discipline. We need that.
The discipline. Because I'm hearing everybody talking about parenting in terms of how much they should do for the kids and how much, but there is no way of them saying what do children do back in return. And that is a very gray area, and nobody's really teaching them that. And I think that's something one has to look at. But that being said, I think we've all done a great jobs and pat on our backs. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Lovely, lovely.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Sharon, wonderful,
Thank you.
Sharon. Thank you.
Wonderful, Sharon. Wonderful.
Ambassador
Wonderful,
Shiva,
Yeah.
we'd like to invite Ambassador Noor, how he relates to his mother. Why don't you invite him?
Hello, Noor Bhai. Thank you for joining us today. And yes, we would love to hear from you the way your parents have, actually brought you up, because I know how attached you are with your mom and dad. We all know that. Brother Noor.
Are you there?
Maybe we can come back to him. Why don't
can
you
come back
ask
to him.
some
ask-
questions from
yeah.
our Poonam ma'am.
Poonam
Shiva
ma'am,
wants, Shiva
I have
wants
one-
to say something.
Shiva,
No, let's say, Dheera, please carry on. Carry on with Poonam ma'am, then I'll ask something from Sharon.
Poonam ma'am, sometimes a situation arises where grandparents and the parents have a
Conflict.
totally different, point
in
of
conflict.
view,
In conflict.
and nobody is wrong. They're
Yeah.
both right in their perspectives.
Right.
Then how in your household would you deal with such a situation? Do you have a big ego as a grandmother, or you bow down, or you don't bow down?
Before Mrs. Narula speaks, I'll vouch for her. There's no word as ego. Ego doesn't exist, but then she will carry on.
Please, over to you, Poonam ma'am.
Yeah. Anything like this, if it happens, I don't know, surprisingly, it is very rarely that it has happened, because most their children go in the morning and they come in the evening, and the child is most of the time with us. And being such high professionals, one thing I have felt in them, that they will never stand and say, Mom, you went this way or that way, you should have done this. Yeah, except for sometimes it might have happened where we just introspect. But one thing I have learned, that I have stopped saying in front of them that hum the to aise karte the, I did like this for you, I did like this for these words I have already buried. I have buried deep.
Beautiful.
So
Very nice.
I am happy to see them, because I feel that they are very intelligent and they're very adjustable and they're very happy to respond. I'll tell you, my daughter-in-law and my son, they have shifted recently, and every Friday that girl calls on phone and says, Dadi, aapke paas aana hai, Dadi. And it's a routine now. Friday we bring her, Monday we leave her. So the bond, emotional bond, we have managed to create by being good to each other, valuing each other's sentiments. I appreciate the way they lay down the norms for the child. 8:30, they will switch off the lights, they will put the child to bed. Okay. It's very good. We finish the food at 8 o'clock. So we have to actually, this new age parenting is like that. Like, I feel so that we have to listen to the children. And if any time it happens, we have seen that we sit together and we sort out, and then we SMS each other. Sorry, Mom, I was a little harsh, and then I said him, "Oh, Baba, it's okay." So this is how we sort it out, and we have surprisingly, by God's grace, never had scenes at home. I thank
you, bless
Almighty
you.
for that beautiful
Bless you.
time and all. I'm
Here,
telling you.
here I like to.
No, presence of grandparents actually is very important. I am feeling that they are like vitamins
Agreed.
in a child's life.
Absolutely, agreed.
You're right.
Just like in a meal, we need vitamins in life. Grandparents are there. I mean, what Tanushri and Weber were facing because they don't have elderly people at home. So they have to manage their household, they have to manage their work, they have to manage the children, and then the gap between the two children, the needs of the two children. So I feel that grandparents are actually a blessing for the children.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They are. I had wonderful grandparents. I feel I owe a lot to my grandparents. Times, I just remember them. Sometimes I just wonder that more of my parents than my own mom and dad.
Rika ma'am, I just want to share one, especially like when my mother-in-law, I recently shared with you, 94 years old. She died, no? She was on her
Yes, I
funeral
remember,
pyre.
yes.
She
Yes,
was
yes.
on her funeral pyre and somebody saw my son kissing her. And they told me this grandson of hers, my God, the love. I mean, you dare to go near the dead body and kiss when she's about to be laid to rest. So this bond has to be created, and
Absolutely.
my children have also been brought up in that manner, and I'm trying
Lovely.
to emulate my mother-in-law, that how every time Dadi, and I'm so happy and so elated when my granddaughter said Dadi.
I know. I can understand that euphoric feeling.
I know.
Euphoric feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to ask Aisha. Aisha, I would like to ask you. You mentioned something about discipline.
Yes, right.
What kind of discipline do you feel we need to bring in while raising our children? And kind of a discipline that blends with the trends. How do we do it? Have you sort of tried out anything which could be helpful to other parents? I mean, because we're talking about new age parenting. We're talking
You're
about
right.
parenting in the present times. Do you have some kind of experience to share with us where you disciplined your child in a way you incorporated a little bit of the old and blended it with the present? So do you have anything to share with us on that? I was saying, it came to my mind.
No, that's a good question. I think one thing, we use the word fear in a wrong way, but I think they need to have fear of parents, because then the discipline will come into play. So what I did with Kyra when she was very young, I didn't give her the goodies straight away. So I've always told Kyra, if you do this right, you will get this. If you don't do it right, then we are going to withdraw this. So those are the little tactics I used while she was growing up. And
Prize and punishment. Prize and punishment. Huh?
Yes, even as a teenager right now, when she's 18 plus, she asks for things. I make her responsible. Like the other day, she wanted money. I said, Kyra, show me your bank statement. Where have you been spending your money? How come this has been finishing? So I've been asking her to show accountability, responsibility, in case she spends it on things that I don't. Say, for example, she goes out. I'm going to give an example now that she's a teenager. I've told her very clearly, if you want to go out drinking, do not use my money. When you start working, that's how we were brought up too. So spend your own money when you on drinking. So this is where she knows I draw the line. I said, okay, I'll give you money, but spend it on things which are age appropriate, not for things that I think will distract you from life. So these are the little tactics I use. And so far it's been working, because she does have that fear of me. So
that's good. And if we remain, if we say something like this, this fear, it's not a threat, but yes, it's a fear. We should stick to it. It's not that, when we feel a little better, we just melt and we forget about it. And then we say, it's okay, but remember not to do it again. Then they'll never take us seriously.
It has to be consistent.
Never take us seriously. So if we say something, I think we should stick to it.
Yes.
That's how we teach them a lifelong lesson, which is commitment. Now,
Yeah, right.
we have been in these past 2 years, 2.5 years now, been attending so many sessions online. But what I have noticed is that many times, I mean, okay, sometimes the reasons are genuine, but sometimes what happens is our friends tell us that, yes, they will join the sessions. But, they tell us that they especially write a note that, yes, I will be there at this time. And you
Right.
take it because obviously you will believe your good friend. But what happens is they never stay true to their commitments. So
Right.
neutralize one thing. What the point that I want to bring here is that if we do this as adults, what are we teaching our children? They have to, later on attend some sessions like this. They will never take them seriously because they've seen their parents doing that. Marzi hai to jayenge, nahi man hai to chodo yaar, kya jana.
That
Right.
means discipline has to.
Commitment
No
is
commitment.
very important.
That is called commitment.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
So I love what you've just said, because that's a good way. And this is what we talk about in our parenting forum, that we need to blend with the trends. We cannot reject the old parenting style outrightly. Of course, we're not imposing anything because that was the old parenting style. We were too overprotective. I remember my grandparents being very protective. So much so when I had a college youth festival, my grandmother came along and
How sweet.
oh, your grandmother came? Oh, you are such a small baby. And I was so ashamed of myself. And I said, please go. You're embarrassing me. But, of course, we don't do that nowadays, but we give our children freedom. We sort of believe that they will be able to be responsible and take care of themselves. But at the same time, we need to set certain boundaries. Those positive boundaries, we need to set them.
Certain rules and values have to.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Have to be
Absolutely.
put in
And
place.
children
Yeah.
have to
Anybody
abide.
wants to? Yeah.
Yes, Ambassador Shiva.
yeah, I just wanted to interfere because I'm itching to speak something and I wanted to continue something what Poonam ji said and Sharon said. This is regarding the children switching off the lights at 8:30. See, we being an army officer's wife and generally staying alone and being taking up care of children. So just wanted to share one experience when my kids, we're parents of twins, and these children, there was a time when they used to go to, I think, second or third standard, and we were in Gangtok. Gangtok was a place where the sun used to shine at 4 o'clock and it used to set very early. So I put the children. 7:30 means bags have to be packed. They used to wear cereal, and both of them used to be in the bed. People used to vouch. Wow, so much of discipline. And there's certain things still continuing with them. So there was a lady, I'm just narrating an incident. There was a lady who interfered in my house in Gangtok and said, I'm okay. The way you're raising your children, their bag is packed, that it's kept in the drawing room, and children are at 8 o'clock, lights are off. You wait and watch when they cross 22.
Yeah.
I have no control today. But yes, my daughter confessed a few days ago, Mom, don't you remember when we used to go to the mess for the parties? Used to say, please behave yourself properly. How foolish were we when we used to ask, Mom, how did we behave in the mess? Were we good? This is the son and daughter. And can we ever think now they're going to talk like this? I'm just sharing something which I'm
Yeah,
collecting
No,
from my
it
memories.
makes a lot of sense. Yes,
and
it's something to ponder over.
but,
Yeah.
and there's certain things she says, don't you said this? I said, do you still remember I said this? Because that teacher thing has always been there and the instructional lines are always there. So this is what I would just wanted to narrate and I intervene. So I hope Adya grows up with the same thing. I'm very sure, I believe in one thing, the habit which is inculcated from the very beginning, it never dies. It fades,
right.
it dies.
Yes.
And
I just want
one
to share
I am proud
my
of my
elder
children.
son. My elder son, who is now 35 years old, I remember I was a teacher by profession and I had a desktop computer and I used to keep it in the drawing room, lock it and take the keys with me to the school. When I would come, he would ask me, Mama, and he was doing MBBS. Mama, give me the keys. I want to check my mail. This is the way I have brought up my children. And now You just somebody talked that saying that they want laptops and they want all technical
But,
devices, and the way they put their hands like this. But let me share with you all. We have not given that much of screen time and liberty to our granddaughter. My daughter-in-law will make a big face if she will ever feel that I have given her a meal with the video on, or I have given her breakfast with the video on. They will put the painting books on the table. They will bring some sand, colored sands, and then she will do some activity, and she will either eat herself or somebody would assist her. This is how things can be made possible. Probably my problem, your problems are, Sharon, your daughter is 18 years old, and this new age child. My son, now 30 years old, and we have a small kid to raise. So our challenges have yet to set in. Right?
No, it's much yet to settle. Right
Yeah.
now, it's the honeymoon period.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
And then I said, it is the parents who will take care. Grandparents will always pamper and party.
And I think
because I had my day. I worked hard with my children, and I made them get good professions, and I'm happy now. Now it is challenge for them to
I know you
take the child.
You
I
decide.
think Dheera, Ambassador Dheera and Ma'am Alka and all of us will agree to one thing. A bit always remains. What the qualities, the values we give to the children in the very beginning. And as I said, I have no control. But believe it, I don't ever speak about my children. Till date, I have never woken up my children. Till date, I have never interfered what they are doing. If he has a flight at 4 o'clock, we have never bothered. He is awake, he's done. I mean, that quality of getting up early in the morning with the sense of responsibility, if from the very beginning is given to them, I think it carries on
the amount
throughout.
of trust you have in them. You
Yes,
have to trust.
That's important. That's the most important thing.
Yes,
Because that makes them confident individuals when they grow up.
Yes.
They know that, they can handle things. And that time, a sense of responsibility comes when they know that they can manage on their.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's very important, what you said.
Right.
Very important.
I'd like to pose a question to everyone, but before I do that, Ambassador Noor, are you there? I just sent him a message also. No, I don't think he's there.
Brother Noor, are you around?
No,
He's not around.
Maybe there's some problem. Because he's
We'll start with you,
Bangladesh.
Sharon, ma'am. The question is, just be very honest about it. If your daughter breaks your favorite vase or vase, which you brought all the way from, I don't know, the other end of the world, and it cost you a fortune, what is your first reaction? First reaction towards her? Just let's
be honest. Let's be
cut the
honest.
chase.
Yeah. No, I don't think with materialistic things I'll react. I react.
Are you sure? Are you
Yes,
sure?
yes.
Or maybe
Perfect.
it has a memory of your parent, grandparent, or
Maybe if it's sentimental, yes, I might get upset, but I've been working on myself to have better responses. And so I think I'm in a better state
something to
today.
learn from you. Something to learn
No,
from you.
few years ago, I would have reacted. But I think now with the teenager, I've been growing up and I've realized that I can't react to all the time because then it really goes worse. So now I've learned to be calmer. So I think I'll be okay.
Wonderful. Hats off to you.
Thank you.
Poonam ma'am, same question goes for you.
Madam, incidentally, I am a chemistry person, and I have broken the maximum apparatus in chemistry labs.
No, that's okay. That's not your apparatus.
No,
that's
I have broken
the school.
So, what happens that whenever I have a guest and I take out my crockery, if I clean it, I'm sure to break. If she will clean it, she may not break. So actually, I am cool. Especially in this area, because something has broken and it is to be taken up now. I take it lightly because I myself not able to. So I remember one of the weddings I went and I broke a glass. My brother took a glass and tied a hanky on my hand with the glass. Poonam, you're not able to hold a glass. So actually, I myself am not able to be very, very I must say, capable of handling things like that. And as I told you, in my chemistry department, Punjab University, Chandigarh, when I was doing my MPhil, we had such an expensive apparatus, and they used to issue us a register. Used to be there, micro
Inventory.
pipettes and micro apparatus. And Poonam Narula. That time I was Poonam Sachdev. I broke maximum. I think I learned 2-3 months to handle the apparatus. So these things, material things are like, if they will break, then only we will bring the new one. No?
I heard a
Right.
beautiful story of a grandmother. It actually happened. The grandmother was at home and this little child came from school, and the grandmother said, your food is lying there in the kitchen, you bring it to the table. So the child was carrying the tray. She was crossing the carpet, very expensive carpet. The tray fell from her hand and all that wonderful crockery broke. And the first reaction of the grandmother in Hindi was, बेटा अब तू क्या खाएगी, मैं वो देखूं कि तुझे क्या खिलाना है. It was so moving.
So touching.
In English, Professor,
Sorry.
a child dropped a tray in front of a grandmother coming back from school, food tray full of the meal. That was the only meal that kept for her. And there was nothing else in the kitchen. You know, this is for the child, okay? Then we'll cook fresh food in the evening. And this child dropped the tray, broke everything on the carpet. And the grandmother's first reaction in Hindi was, now let me see what will I feed you, instead of just screaming at the child.
Yeah,
So I
I
think
think it's worthless to scream on. These are all materialistic things.
Professor,
So,
how do you react when your son did something terrible or breaking or not listening to you? What's your first reaction? Do you get angry?
Yeah, I'll get upset. I'm very, how do you call it?
Volatile.
Yes, volatile, and also what do you call? I am very assertive and I don't hold back. If I'm angry, I show that I'm angry. But it's only and they know it's only for a while. I'm only reacting to the situation at the moment. And I'm angry at the situation. I'm not angry at you. So if you did something, for example, there are, some of these bars that I brought in, an antique that I brought in from Xinjiang, or that I got it from Europe, whatever, that's okay. I'll just say, never mind. It's just, material things. If I have the, money, or if I have friends, we will replace it. And when coming to the food stuff, I'll say, if the child or my grandchildren fall food, and they said, well, too bad. That's the only thing that we had, for you. But if you don't mind having fast food, Maggie, Maggie me.
Yeah.
If you don't mind having Maggie, I'll replace your meal with that.
How sweet.
That's what I'll do as a grandpa. So I wouldn't get angry with them. So we understand. Okay?
Wonderful. Alka ma'am, what would you do? What's your first reaction had been when the kids were small?
When the kids were young. So Dheera, I was like Professor, I was on the aggressive side. I'm going to be very honest about it. So a lot depended on my moods. If I had a bad day at the workplace, and it had more to do with my moods rather than the thing. So it was like that. If I had a good time, it's okay. Yeah, chalo, we'll get another one.
Yeah.
And if I had a bad day, most of the times, those days, when you are still young, you're in your late or early 30s, you are different. We all know that. So then I would just, everything would just come out. And then I would a very long drawn face for a long time. And but after that, my kids knew one thing, that Mama gets angry, but then she soon becomes okay as well. So then they'll come and start hugging me and give me an ice cream and everything. So, that was my style.
Shiva ma'am, what about you? You were angry?
When I just to add, Dr. Alka, yes, it's about two things,
Professor.
It's about mood and timing. If you, you do it the wrong timing,
in
then
my
you're in
case,
trouble.
it was a lot to do with the mood, more than the thing. More than the thing, it was the mood.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Shiva ma'am, what about you? Where are you?
She has just, I think dropped out.
Who?
Shiva.
Some connectivity issue.
Some connectivity issue.
Yeah.
I think Brother Noor is there. I just saw him.
Brother
Yeah,
Noor.
he's there now.
Hello, a big welcome to you.
Hello, sister. I
How are
really,
you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm so sorry I couldn't able to unmute myself because of the network issues.
Never
Okay,
mind,
okay.
never mind. It's lovely to have you. If you could share some parenting, experience with your mother, your father, because I know how close you are, both of you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
Yes,
would love
please
to.
share.
Exactly, I would love to say because uh, from the very beginning part of my life, I'm the lefty. I'm left-handed person. So in that time, most of my teacher actually forced me to write in right hand, but my parents actually insist me no, whatever he can do it. So afterwards, teacher actually stopped the forcing to use my right hand, and now they actually accept the left hand. Okay, this is another part that from the very beginning I try to give my best, and what my parents actually love most, that they feel like yes, my son is a topper in that preliminary school level, and later on some other things. But yes, now I'm focusing on the real things. uh, we have a great and large family, and in this arena, or in this situation, this kind of family members are not available in any family, because we have a 6 sister and 3 brothers. It's all about 9 brother and sister in my family, and that's why from the very beginning of this time, for our study purpose, my mother, even my father, took so many loans for continuing our education. And for this regard, that time, for the financial crisis and some other things, we have been facing a lot of things. But my mother always insist me and inspire me that, look, I'm spending money for your study. Whatever monies come, don't think about that. I will take all the pressure. I will take all the responsibility. Just try to make us proud. So this is kind of things that we all, our brothers and
And
sisters,
that
try
you
to.
have done. Brother Noor, you've done that brilliantly. You are making them proud. Look at you now. You
Yes,
make
I
him
tried my
work.
thing, but still,
Yeah.
I think I have a dream that I will come with my mother in a big stage to give the actual proud moment, because you can see my progress. Even I show some of my achievement towards my mother, because my mother are not known about the online platform and some other things, but she feel proud, but she need to be proud in person. I mean, in physical moment, or physical any event. Anyway, I'm focusing on that time, in during our study time, during our school, college, even university. I saw that because of our financial crisis, most of our relatives are actually not responding and not communicating with us. So my father, even my mother, always inspire us that, look, right now the situation was not our favor, but if you are doing something for your betterment, one day they will definitely communicate with you. Otherwise, nothing gonna be a change in the near future. And that what is going on right now. All of our, um, all of we are actually our brother and sister. They are all are graduate, and my mother still feel that most of our relatives now communicating with us. 3 of my brother and sister already live in, already citizen of United States of America, and some of we will going to after 4 and 5 years, inshallah. Let's see. But what is actually the parenting things? Whenever we fall down, my mother think I'm still alive. Don't think that what other people will talk. I will be with you. Just go on. And inshallah, my prayer always with you. My sister, whenever I just ask for prayer towards my parents, my mother do prayer at the midnight, because that time we do believe, as a Muslim, we do believe that the midnight there is a prayer. If we pray something, and something gonna be definitely happen, inshallah. So yes, of course it was happen, and I got chance within 240 people. I just only one who got chance in the job market in my respective position
Wow.
in NGO, and I just
Bravo.
look how much powerful of our parents' prayer. Whenever you feel sick, please don't ask for prayer of others. Ask the prayer of your parents, because your parents' prayer will definitely work for you, and your prayer will definitely work your parents. So yes, Alhamdulillah, my father and my mother, they are very friendly in nature. Even my father actually took me to go to the stadium to say the match. Even I with my father spent a lot of nights in the midnight any football match. Even if I talk about anything, that my mother, ma, I'm just feeling this, and this is happening in my office, this is happening in my school. My mother's okay. Just hug. When I hug my mother, when I hug my father, I think everything is instantly actually dismissed. I feel like, yes, now I feel relaxed. Now I feel like, yes, I feel like so much comfortable. So my mother and my father is the power of my energy. They are the power of our inspiration. Even they are the ultimate source of our asset. If you don't have asset, don't think that I am poor. You are rich if you have parents. So what I feel, that I am very much rich and rich person around the world who have such kind of father and mother who are very friendly in nature, who are very supportive in nature, who actually love with unconditionally. So that's all about my part. Actually, I try to share more. That shouldn't be do that right now, but yes, parents are all about our asset, all about our momentum of work, momentum of joy, and momentum of life. Thank you.
That's wonderful. That's lovely. And that was so powerful when you said, I am rich because of my parents. I consider myself to be the richest person on planet Earth. I think that was a very, very powerful line. As always, you say the last word in a brilliant way, Brother Noor. I mean, that was amazing. And God bless you always. And I hope that whatever you're dreaming for your mother, that you want to, actually invite her to the stage where you're going to be felicitated. I hope that day comes soon. As a sister, as an elder sister, I would definitely pray for you for that moment. And I hope all of your sisters over here and Professor will join us in that felicity moment. So this is our prayer for our young brother who has such amazing thoughts, such amazing, powerful thoughts, and who considers himself to be the richest person on planet Earth. And I can see how emotional you're getting. But this is the joy of being parented by such wonderful parents. So lots of love to you. God bless you. And always, keep shining. Always. And while we're still here, if I have the permission of my lovely friends, Ambassador Dhira, Ambassador Shiba, Professor Khairuddin, and Poonam ma'am, and Brother Noor, I would like to ask all of you one simple thing. A joy of parenting, one thing that gives you a simple joy, that comes out of parenting. What gives you that joy that, when you're spending time with your children? A small thing. For example, let me just talk about myself. I'll just say that, I would just love reading fairy tales to them. And when I would read those fairy tales to them, I would actually talk like the characters in the tale. And that, and I could see them listening to me, and I think that is what actually gave them that, good listening skills, good speaking skills, good writing skills, and good understanding skills. Those four: listening, speaking, writing, that we keep on talking about as English teachers.
Yeah.
Learned that brilliantly when they were.
They call it the 3R.
Biggest joy. Yes,
they call it
Professor, what gave you the biggest joy?
They call it the 3R: reading, writing, arithmetic. The one that you
Yes.
just said. Yeah.
Yes. So
But-
what gave you the biggest joy?
Well, I don't know. I've been a bad dad actually. I never really paid attention. Everything was my wife was handling all of them. So they've all grown up. They're all married.
Moms
and
know
then-
it best.
Okay. All right. What do you call? But if I want to share with you, I begin to see, the joy of a parent, or the joy, I begin to actually feel it was when my son graduated recently, and
Oh,
I was with
yes.
him. And
Yes, yes.
board, and then he graduated, and I mean, the
That gave you
joy
the
was
biggest joy.
biggest joy to me. I think, oh shit, where have I
I
been?
think
What have I been doing?
all our children's achievements, I think they give
exactly.
us joy. I mean, we cannot name one. We
Yeah,
cannot name one because all their achievements are our achievements as well. Because
Yeah,
we feel happy for them.
yeah.
Every landmark or every achievement, that they reach, every level.
Okay. I just want to qualify it. The joy, not because they become a millionaire or they become a billionaire, they become rich. No, in my case, to me is when they have become a full person and they display this what we call integrity. Then they know, which I go back to this basic fundamental.
A simple joy. Let's just talk about a simple joy. These are the joys of parenting.
Yeah, okay.
Why a simple joy? Remember, I mean, of course, with the kids, maybe going for picnics with them.
Yeah. Going there, for example, I can now begin to remember going
It's
to
okay,
Medan
it's
with the
okay.
whole family, and then driving, going back to your village, together in a family.
Yeah,
little
that's what
things,
I was talking about.
Yeah,
The
yes,
simple
yes.
joys. Yeah,
Simple joys, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
I give it to all three of you. Poonam, ma'am.
Yeah, my
Poonam can wind it off.
joy
Yeah.
of
Recently,
spend time.
I just like to share, and it is dinner time, so we need to wrap up soon, I think.
Yes.
Last week they celebrated Grandparents' Day in the school, and this girl performed on "O Mere Zuhar Zabeen Tujhe Malum
How
Nahi," some
sweet.
song. And the moment she happened to look into our eyes on the stage, she started crying, and my husband took the video of that. So the moment she gets in, when Papa asked her in the evening, "Why did you cry on the stage?" "Dadi ko yaad aa gayi thi." So dad itself performing on the stage,
How
3
sweet.
years old child. And for 4 days she had been sick. She had not rehearsed. She reached the stage, she sat there and she sung for us. So that gave me a lot of pleasure. And for a kid like this, even if she takes good, what do you say, those in the park when they are riding, she takes a good ride, pleasure. She says, "Circle to a circle, I am happy." So these small things, they give us pleasure. And regarding my children, they're like Madam just said, every achievement getting into professional colleges. And let me share with all of you that my son recently got into Amrita Hospital as a professor. And
Wow, congratulations,
that is
Poonam,
the
ma'am.
biggest achievement, that his profile was selected out of so many doctors.
Yes,
So these
I'm
are all
sure you're a proud mama.
goodness reverberates what I feel in life. It is reverberating. So there
Yes.
is an urgent need for everybody to be very good in life, stay as good human beings. Goodness will definitely
That will
reverberates.
always come back. Goodness always.
Maybe take a leave now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so
All
much for
right.
being
Thank
here,
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
sharing
Thank
those
you.
wonderful
Yeah,
things.
thank you.
We
You're
love
brilliant.
the
Excellent.
session.
Dheera ma'am, first time I am attending your program, and Alka ma'am, Dheera ma'am, Shiba has a lot of praises for all of you, and she says I'm blessed to be associated with this program. Thank you everyone for those.
Thank you, ma'am. You were
Thank you
super.
for being here with us
Simply
today.
exquisite.
And thank you, Shiba, for getting Poonam ma'am and all the lovely parents today. Thank you, Dheera,
Yes.
for moderating the
There
session
is a
so
video
well.
call from my son. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye, ma'am. Bye.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for adding those witty and hilarious anecdotes. Thank you, Brother Noor, for that powerful
Thank you. You were
story
awesome.
that you shared. Thank you to all of you, each and every tenacious member of the team blessed to have all of you and lovely. So for the parting shot, I leave it to the lovely ambassadors Dheera and Shiva.
Well, it's been a great session. So much to learn. A lot of learning was taking place, though we've crossed that stage of having little children, but there was so much of learning. And I think from all of the participants, all of the speakers, I've learned to become a great grandparent. So I'm looking forward, whenever I have grandchildren, I'll follow
Yes.
these tips. Over to you.
Absolutely, Dheera. I resonate with that.
Over to
Thank
you,
you.
Ambassador Shiba.
Yes, I also share the same views, and I take this word as keyword, grandparents, great grandparents. Even we heard what Professor said, wonderful. And I think we need to change ourselves. We need to adapt as they are, and that's how this is the
We
learning.
need to
This is the
blend with
takeaway.
the trends.
Yes,
We have
yes,
to blend
yes.
with the trend. This is the takeaway for the entire session. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us this platform. And it was
Thank
a
you to all
wonderful
of
session.
us.
We
We're
heard,
all in
we
this
loved it.
journey,
We loved it.
beautiful
We enjoyed
journey.
it.
Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
of
Thank you.
enhancing lives, of connecting the global community, of spreading smiles and making each and every individual understand that they are unique, unstoppable. We're all in this together through our various multifarious programs. Thank you so much, and look forward to our next Wireless Connect, which is on the
29th.
because this month in India is all about festivals. So I had a lot of requests that if you could, we would like to join, but and I wanted maximum participation since our topic for the wireless debate is pretty interesting. And at the same time, we have got these requests that we must have one parenting session every month, one session on express to de-stress in addition to our wireless debate. And I'm sure we can manage it with such a powerful, tenacious team. I'm sure we can manage.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lots of love.
Extremely
And
wonderful.
keep smiling.
Goodbye. Good
everyone.
luck.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Goodbye. Good night. Good luck. Thank you.
Bye-bye.